that is Grok. All right, let's have a look at TRVL. So this MEX news is really, I'm not happy about it, because with TRVL I was using the MEX chart for analysis, and I think this MEX news is unhelpful, very unhelpful. And I think you have to be careful with MEX now, because if they are closing down accounts when they're making significant gains, then God forbid that you will be able to close your positions on TRVL with big gains if they don't have the liquidity to pay you off, if they don't have the money to pay you out, and instead they just close your account and there's no recourse to appeal, there's no way to appeal. So I think it's unfortunate news, and I'm playing safe. I closed down my MEX positions. I didn't actually have TRVL on MEX. I buy TRVL on Bybit and on Gate, but I was trading between TRVL and Prop S on MEX, and I've just closed down all my positions and I've just moved it all back to Bybit, and I'm not even willing to take the risk. And we're not talking about crazy amounts of money, but I mean, you know you could turn $1,000 here to the all-time high. Is, look, it's at this current price, it's a 47x. If you had $1,000 here and if you sold at the all-time high, you could be at $47,000. What happens if you sell at the all-time high, $47,000 worth of TRVL, and then MEX turns around and closes your account and freezes it and doesn't let, and whatever, for whatever reason? You can't. That's ridiculous. You can't risk that. It's bad enough to lose $1,000. It's to lose all of those gains, and what's even worse, you sold and you weren't even able to take the profit, because maybe you were going to buy back in, and that's what we need. We need people to sell and then buy back in to increase the volume on this token. That's what we really need. We need people to have that mindset. So my idea of some kind of Wyckoff accumulation followed by an Elliott wave, a 5-wave up, is the idea is that people will sell, take profit at key levels, and then accumulate back in on the way down. I don't want people to. I want people to do that. That would be amazing if that happened, because then the volume would increase as it goes up, increasing volume. That's kind of what you want to see. The volume on MEXC is actually pretty flat when I'm looking at it, and I'll give you another indicator which for me is very bullish. So I'm probably going to stop charting on MEX, and I'm going to probably transfer all my charting to the next highest volume. So let me have a look. So on the weekly time frame, have a look. On the weekly time frame, this current week has experienced on MEXC, as this week that we're about to close today, 8.19 million TRVL tokens. Last week was 8 million. The week before was 8 million. 8.7 million. In the 8s, it's all 8, 8, 9, 8, 8. It's a bit less going down. What's this like back here? Back here when we've made our first kind of significant pivot low, when we pushed up, it was 13, 11, 9. There was a lot of volume here. We're getting similar volume but over a prolonged period of time here. Yeah, I like that the volume is not going down, but I mean price is kind of not going up. This is pretty bearish. The volume went up, the price went up. That's pretty bearish. So what I'm looking at now are the other charts on TRVL. This is gate. Let me look at the volume. So this current week we're looking at 6.5, 7, 5, 11, 8. It's similar, not as much as MEX, but it's similar. So actually I'm thinking this push up here, you see, it was half of MEX or less. It was a third. This candle on MEX was 15 million, whereas this it was 5.7. Yeah, this one is KuCoin. Let me have a look at KuCoin. $6.2, 11, 9. It's very similar actually. So KuCoin has a bit of volume. So I think most of the volume now is split between MEX, Gate, KuCoin. This pivot low here, look, this was 25 million. So on this pivot low here, KuCoin had the most volume. It's 25 million, whereas Gate was about 5 million and MEX was about 15 million. And look at this push up. That was a 27 million push up. Wow, look at that. It was sold into. There's a lot of volume that was sold, that went up. KuCoin is not bad, huh? It's not bad. The problem with KuCoin is it came onto KuCoin exchange slightly late, on the 6th of December 21, and so you don't have that initial candle that went up. And I like that initial candle because it had the launch price, which is very important. You don't see it on the KuCoin chart, but basically it was at 9 cents, somewhere there. Probably why it overshot, because all this volume came up. But if they knew that that was a launch price, they may have like started to take profit now. Okay, hold on, I need to message my brother, 1 second. Yeah, the volume is being split now. The volume is being spread amongst these first 3 exchanges pretty evenly. Whereas before, KuCoin had the most volume pushing up. Let me have a look at Bybit. This is Bybit. I trade on Bybit. I like Bybit. Get rid of these now. Don't know what they are. So the Bybit is giving us a very interesting story. Firstly, the volume is lower, which is a shame, because I would love for Bybit for the volume to be much higher, but it's not. It's much lower than the rest. But it is giving us a different story. So this pivot low here, see, like the Bybit volume was 511,000, whereas on MEX, on KuCoin it was like, what was it at? KuCoin, 25 million. There's a difference between Bybit and KuCoin. So here you have no volume on Bybit, it can't, whereas on KuCoin you have pretty good volume going up. And Bybit is giving a different picture though, because look at this. This is quite interesting. Look at all these increasing volume at the lows here. They're increasing volume. Yeah. I think that's quite interesting, because for a long period of time we had pretty much low flat volume and price was going down. Now we've made a kind of a reversal pattern here, and ever since that happened you've got this injection of volume into this little range here. Now it's still significantly less in comparison to the other exchanges, but we're not comparing it to the other exchanges, we're comparing it to itself, to this exchange. And when you look at the volume on this exchange, that's telling us that something has changed. There's interest, whereas before there was no interest, and now you're suddenly getting interest. Now, could that be the volume diminishing on the other exchanges and being transferred to Bybit? Yeah, of course it can. It can mean that. It could mean that people are trusting Bybit more than the other exchanges, and I expect that over time the MEX volume will decrease, especially with this news that's been released. Whereas in this run up they had quite a large amount of volume. Maybe this is going to decrease, and maybe it's going to transfer over to Bybit. But there is a significant shift, and we have to see how this pans out. So someone on ignore this wick down, by the way. This wick is you wouldn't call it a scam wick. It's just someone taking a crap load of profit from the token launch. But usually with Bybit they prevent you from selling a large amount of token in one go. That's what that was. That's 1.193 million. Bybit usually prevents you from doing that. They like force you to sell it in little bits, so it prevents these kind of crazy wicks. But someone was just like, I'm out, and they sold all the way down stupidly, because they could have just scaled out, and they lost. I think it went down to 95%. These, you can just ignore that wick. Doesn't mean anything. That's not a low. That's just a fake wick. Call it a fake wick. So someone shared their TA on the Telegram, and let me pull it up actually. Where is it? I'm going to copy it and just paste it, and I want to try and save as. No, I can just copy it actually. Copy. Let me try and paste it in. I'm not sure which. I'm going to have to redo my charts on Gate. Probably Gate. Probably Gate, the all-time high went all the way up, and it isn't. It's at 1.656. And KuCoin doesn't have the correct start. And then on Bybit, the all-time high went all the way up to $4.46. Can you imagine? On the day of the launch, people were buying this token all the way up to $4.2. Can you imagine? If we were to go up on Bybit to all the way up to those prices from where we are now, that's 133x. That's crazy. This is again that it's the same as this wick. You can ignore it. That's the problem. The problem was that overall the MEX chart is still the most accurate. But the problem now is that we have this stupid thing happening with MEX going forward. How do you trust it? I don't know. I think we just have to keep on charting all of the exchanges and then seeing if there's any kind of significant divergence and trying to analyze how that reflects onto the way the token is forming the token price, and how it's forming the chart is forming, and how that reflects. So yeah, so this is the, let me minimize that. So I'll keep this for now. Actually, I'll keep it on Mex for now, but I'm going to change it soon. I just have to basically copy all of this data with the correct points onto another chart. But let me just paste. Yeah, so someone shared this on Telegram, and I want to copy it. I'm not really good with harmonics, so the harmonic king is my friend David. So every time I say, David, can you see any harmonics? He sees them. What time frame is he using? Can I see the time frame? You gotta have time frame in your charts. Can't just cut it out. How am I gonna guess the time frame? Well, it's definitely not weekly. Oh God, where did it go? There it is. Well, he says, according to this, it's going up to 2-1. What's happening at 2-1? Maybe it is weekly, or is it is that monthly? No. Can't figure this out. Look, those are those 2 wicks. Well, it's definitely not. Look at the daily. Don't think it's Max. I'm just trying to find the one that he used and just do it on that one. Maybe this one. Could it be Gate? Let's have a Gate of KuCoin, I guess. Oh, look. How did he come up with that? It has to be weekly, huh? It's much lower there. It's more flat here. Yeah, this is the weekly time frame. He's taking it from this level. I don't know why he's taking it from that level, but maybe it's just that weekly level. This is a bit above the weekly level. So weekly level there is at 17.49. Go back to Mex. Weekly level is about 17. He's taking it from a pivot. Maybe that pivot there, 21. Just taking it from that pivot, this red pivot there, and maybe KuCoin. Let me have a look at KuCoin as well. I should just ask him, huh? I like to figure that. Oh yeah, this is definitely KuCoin. Yeah, he's using KuCoin. Okay, so I'm going to do it on KuCoin because because he's using Q. It's obvious he's using KuCoin. I don't know why he's taking it to the middle though. To the pivot. Okay. D, why is the D there? I don't know why the D is there. As high as 21,025. 21,025. Well, I showed this to my friend David. He's the harmonics king. He joins me on the streams, but he's because of Christmas he's been a bit busy. He's been away, and he said it's very possible. Like this harmonic is very possible. I just don't know why he's picked that level of 21,025. I can't see a reason. But it's from that point to this point to this point. Is it a bit lopsided? Should it be maybe more balanced? You kind of want this to be there, no? I don't know. Let me try a max. See if it's better on max. That works, look. Can we get up there in time for the bull market? One little sooner. As soon as you got it there. It's slightly, is it the same level as X? That's why he's got it at 21, because it's the same. He's taking it to the same point as where he began. So on MEX, that's basically what we're looking at. Let me bring it to this one. I don't think this matters where it goes here. I really have no idea about harmonics. I know the shapes, what they look like. I just don't know how to know whether they're correct or not. How far can this go? Can it go higher? It can't be lower, that wouldn't look right. It has to be above B. Does it have to be above X? .6. Can someone tell me if this is what they think? Look, that's 618. 1.6. 1.618. .618. This is 1.012. I don't know what if that's right or not. If you move that, it all changes. 618, 1.618. That's not bad, huh? 618, 1.618. So that blue line is the halving event in for Bitcoin. I mean, in a sense, that could work because then Bitcoin is going to start running. A lot of the values are going to pull back into Bitcoin. That could mean some of these altcoins pull back, or just go sideways. He hasn't got these figures. Look, I've got these Fibonacci figures from on my one are better. 1.618, 618. I like that. I like that it's got the. Let me hide that. Could that be in play? You have a much longer move on this second leg. This drop was much more steep, the push up, and then this is much longer. I've got a Fibonacci time as well, which I think isn't too bad. So let me have a look. Where is it? Somewhere. Let me check this scan fan. I think we're well and truly above this scan line now, this 2-1. So, I mean, are we just gonna go through these scans? I find it very difficult to imagine us going through them in one go. And then this is way over this third one, you know. Would that be lower down? But then that changes 618. I see that this one. Could it be there? No, because we're there already. Could it be lower? No, that doesn't look right. It really has to be up there. How does that line up with these GANs? I mean, how can the price? I mean, I can easily see some kind of impulse to there, but then you're expecting it to go even more impulsive. You kind of want an impulse now and just go crazy. You want that crazy move up. And I don't really like crazy moves either, because I like structure, which is what we're forming here, because you get these like, look at this crazy move up here. There was no support was created. The only support that was created on the way up was this minuscule red candle here, and as you can see, as the price came back, this minuscule red, look, it held the price for a period of time before it lost it. We had a little kind of relief rally here, more of a bull trap, and I think that was because we're at because this whole consolidation range here. So, but ultimately, the minute we lost these lows of these two candles, like if this bullish candle here, if you wanted it to continue, you'd have to reverse it somewhere here first to have some kind of sideways consolidation before you went up. And we didn't, we just lost it. Well, the minute you lost it with this candle, it was game over. It just sold off. You can't, the minute you form these like dojis after this bullish impulse, you've got this wick range. This you can't lose it. You lose it and it's game over for the bulls. The opposite can be said for the bears. You know, if you have an expansion down, you form one of these dojis in reverse. The minute you lose that range, it's moving. This is quite bullish, huh, if it goes up like that. I don't know. I can't say yes or no. And I think more likely than not, like, you know, it's very possible that Yeah, I think it's very possible that we come into this area here, this back test of this. I mean, I can't say I don't like it, but at the same time, is it plausible? You've got this golden pocket from this range up, down. Let me connect the dots precisely. This lines up with this order block here, with this this green candle, and the top of that green candle is a daily level. So that lines up. If you were to take a volume pool of this range here, you're also lining up with volume and the value area high of this range that happened in the past. See? And if you combine that with this GAN, this 3-1 on this GAN fan, you know, we've already broken through the 2-1 now. We're just back testing it for a continuation. That's basically what's happening right now. Now we don't know exactly when the continuation is going to happen. This broke it and it flowed down the other side of this GAN on this 1-1 before it shot up to the 2-1. And so here we are now on the other side of this GAN, which is also this 2-year trend line. No one can tell you when it's going to happen. The when is not predictable, you know, and everything is in context of Bitcoin. A lot of people are saying that ETH needs to run first, and then you're going to get like the rest of the flow of capital going into the altcoins and the smaller micro caps. So I'm not sure we're there yet, and we're still forming this accumulation pattern. I would love to see us push up. Last point of back test this value area high, push up, back test this this golden pocket, somehow work our way through and get up to that D. I would love that. Why wouldn't I? That's amazing. Imagine if that happens. You're going up from our current position, a 6x. You're talking about a 6x and a higher high on the weekly time frame. That's bullish AF, you know. And then all you'd have to do is defend 9 cents. Defend 9 cents, which is the launch price on any major pullback. Really important for the bulls to pay attention to what I'm saying now. And I'm not trying to tell anyone what to do, you know, like do what you do and do what you want. But in terms of how we're going to get to the moon, we need to defend 9 cents. Yeah. Whenever we reclaim the upper range, which is above 9 cents, we have to, whenever you're taking profits, wherever you're taking profits and you're scaling out, and try not to suddenly take profits, scale out in small amounts over a period of time, because we want the rise to continue. We don't want to suddenly have huge volume reversals into the highs, because that's not going to look pretty either. It'll be a lot better to scale out and let the price continue rising as far as possible. But anyway, I mean, who knows what will happen? You know, we're talking about a lot of people with different kinds of psychology entering the market, and so for someone, a 6x from where we are now is life-changing money. You know, up to this point, 6x. That's already life-changing money for a lot of people, and I can't tell people not to take profit. But if you're bullish on this token, on this asset, the minute you start taking profit above 9 cents, the key point to defend is 9 cents. That is the launch price. And anything you're buying now, any token price underneath 9 cents now is discount. Yeah, you're basically getting this token at 3 times cheaper than the early investors, the first investors, the first capital that came into this token. Yeah, it's a massive coup for anyone who's entering the token now, because you're getting a really good price. Yeah, and people will look at this and go, well, this isn't bullish, look how this token has moved down in price. You have to understand that going down is bullish. Extended down periods is bullish. It's the opposite. You think going up is bullish, but going up is bullish after you an extended down period. Yeah, so this is the springboard of going up. This is bullish. Yeah, going down, exhausting all of the sales, leaving the market, all the market sales leaving, and then accumulating high volume at the lows is bullish. This whole structure is looking bullish to me, right? And the minute we get some kind of impulsive move, then you're going to change your minds a little bit, because you want to see the move. Like, no one but thinks that the move is going to happen. Everyone thinks, this is what people think. Looking in this chart, people think that. People think that. They go, oh my God, what happens if this goes this? Oh my God, this is going to zero. You know? I think that's impossible, because at these levels, it'll be almost impossible for anyone here to sell, and it'll be very easy for people to buy to bring it back up, because of the low liquidity environment in this, and also the context of the bull market. I think anyone who's accumulating now is accumulating for the highs. For the highs. It starts here, goes upwards. No one's looking to sell now. People are looking to buy for a long hold. So, yeah. But it's really important. So if you do start taking profit above 9 cents, what we need to do as bulls is defend this level when it comes back. And the way to defend it is to set limit orders. Let's put like a wall of fire at 9 cents. Let's just put a wall there. So however long it takes, the price just can't get below 9 cents. Just exhaust all of the sellers, and then you'll get the impulse up. And that will be how you do it. And there'll be an injection of volume, because people would have taken profit higher, you know. Now if this gets up to 21 cents, then then it comes back to 9 cents, and you've taken profit, then you can get you can put the money back in and have 3 times the amount of tokens that you could have had. Obviously people are going to take profit and not put it back into the market, but if that is a wave 1 all the way up to there, from wherever this begins. Now it doesn't have to start now, it could go forward, drop, and who knows where it's going to start, somewhere here. Maybe it's already started, we don't know. Goes up to there. Yeah, for sure you want the wave 2 don't know how long. And the longer the possible, the better. The longer the consolidation period, the better. Either it has to be longer, it has to be deep. And in the context of what I'm visualizing, I would want it to be long and not too deep. I would want it to be flat as possible, because I don't really want us to go above 9 cents and come back under 9 cents, because I really see that as a critical level for reaccumulation, because basically that's the token price, launch price. So a lot of people are going to come into the market and they're going to go, oh my god, I can buy this token at the launch price, and they're going to start accumulating. So wouldn't it be great if this pumps up to 21 cents or whatever, and then we can all take profit at 21 cents, and then we can all reaccumulate at 9 cents, and then new entrants into this token, and we can like, wow, I can enter this token at the launch price. It's basically like buying it back as an early adopter, early investor rather, at 9 cents right back in 2021. And then we'll have a massive consolidation period here with a large injection of volume, which is then going to take us to the next leg up, which is a wave 3. And I would want to see the wave 3 get above the all-time high. I don't know, it's hard, I mean, obviously as high as possible, but I mean, it's hard to predict how far up it's going to be, and it would be nice for it to go as above, to get a flat on a 4 as well, and to flip the all-time high into, like, this would be like the best case scenario. You go up to 21 and long flat consolidation period into 9 cents, defend 9 cents at all costs, an impulsive move up to above the all-time high somewhere, and then another flat consolidation period back into the all-time high with a final push up. Into 23. Yeah. 24, 25. That'd be, can you imagine if that happened? I think it's possible. So let me get rid of these. Get rid of the GAN. I've got this higher time frame analysis and get rid of that and the Wyckoff. So yeah, this is what we're looking at right now, possibly. I'm getting people messaging me. This volume increase in the lows, look at that, that's beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see for accumulation. 3-day time frame, we closed, look at that, we just closed above the point of control on the 3-day chart. Look at that. That happened 11 or so, 13 or so hours, 14, 15 hours ago. So already people have just bought, market bought the close. See that market, that's a market buy. So you've already had people market buy that, because that's, I mean, that's quite bullish. Obviously you want the price to be trading higher. Get rid of these. But that's quite bullish, isn't it? In the sense that you've got people, there's so much interest in this. Price went down. So it's underneath this wick on this exchange. This is a 12-hour chart. It closed underneath. But if you look at the other exchanges, it's telling you a slightly different story. See, so for, on Gate, it closed well above. Maybe Gate is the most accurate one right now. Actually, look, that's correct. Back test. Now it's trading back up there. See. These are all correct. The way the way the candles are forming are correct, because you're getting volume gap tests. So the volume is filling. You get market buys, and the volume comes back to fill, back tests previous levels, and it continues going in the same direction. This is obviously another market buy. So people are market buying, people are trying to accumulate large positions. in terms of candles, look at this 12-hour candle. It closed green. It took the liquidity, it closed green. Yeah, that's not, I mean, obviously you want it to close higher above these wicks, but still it closed green, so the price is still bullish. This candle is a bullish candle. The bulls are still in control because it closed higher. And then if you go to if you zoom in, this red candle is a take profit, increasing volume, closed higher. That's bullish. See, so you had volume leave the token, the price closed higher. That's bullish. And this the way this candle closed, that's a poor high because the profit wasn't taken. It was taken in the red candle. It forms this kind of square top. You've taken the liquidity here. So sometimes taking liquidity can be a good thing because it means there's no more liquidity in these highs. It's been taken. Yeah. So the last bit of liquidity is up there. And once you get past that last point, the price slips up. It just flies up. You see how this kind of move, it's bullish. See that? It's bullish. You kind of want it to continue and go up like that, but it can't, I mean, in a sense, it's looking like some kind of weird inverse head and shoulders or an upwards, a flat triangle. It's looking a bit like a flat triangle. Flat top triangle. It's looking a bit like that. See? It looks a bit like that, no? Very subjective. People look at these things differently. To me, that's looking like that. And the flat, obviously this flat top doesn't have to be so high. Like that. Thing about flat top triangles is that the more times you hit the top, eventually it breaks because you're just taking the liquidity, and you're making higher lows. This is what we're doing. We're making higher lows. We keep on taking liquidity and we keep on closing higher. So this is a very bullish pattern, this flat top triangle. Yeah. We're closing higher lows. We keep on hitting this top, and eventually it'll break. Eventually, what will happen if this is correct? Yeah. Firstly, the thing with these flat top triangles, with these kind of patterns, you don't want the price to now suddenly tread the bottom. You don't want the price to be on the bottom. You want the price to always be on the top. So it's hit the bottom. It's missed it there, but it's hit it once and twice. But how many times has it hit the top? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, almost 6. You see what I mean? So like, this is how you know the price is bullish, because the price is at the top. It's always hitting the top. It's not at the bottom, and the bottoms are actually getting higher and higher. So, you know, I think if we get another dip, you know, I mean, it's gonna be brought up again. It's brought up. That's what it looks like, and it's going to keep on doing it until eventually it breaks. It's pretty nice market structure. This is very easy in validation once you break this pattern, because I'm assuming that sometime in the future, it's an assumption, you know, every pattern can break the other way, but if it breaks and kind of goes up like that somewhere, you're not expecting it to come back underneath this trend line now, this bottom part of this triangle at all. I'm going to continue that. That would be a sign of weakness after a sign of strength. That would be the sign of strength. You might get a back test somewhere along the way. Could it be like down here for a continuation, or it could even just that could be the back test, you know, like on the way up. Good back tests, because I mean these with these small coins, you basically, when it breaks, you buy. People market buy the breaks with altcoins. They don't usually wait for back tests because of the low liquidity environment. Maybe the back test is up here. Continuation. Who knows how this is going to play out. And at the very least, what I'm seeing here is a nice bullish price action, testing these highs, making high lows, you know. And then on the higher time frame, look, it's different to this one. You see this little pattern here. It's like a deviation from the range, but that's your range. You see how the price was testing the lows more until it broke down. And it's like a deviation. It's like a liquidity grab just to sell back down, and then it was just down. It's very different behavior to what we've experienced in the past with this token. Very different. I don't mind that actually. Let me have a look at the other. Was that on Gate? That was on Gate. Just checking my stream to make sure that no one's writing anything. All my amazingly long list of viewers. Maybe look at Mex. Yeah, I mean you have a similar story, except these wicks are a bit crazy. Mex looks like a Head and Shoulders. I don't know. I mean, it's very subjective, but you also have that idea of this triangle as well there. Just testing the highs, test, higher lows, closing higher. You still have that same idea. And then KuCoin, kind of the same thing actually. Look, we're above on KuCoin now. We're into the value area high again. We have the same idea actually, you know, same idea, it's the same thing. Be nice to flip that and go up. That would be nice now. Little push up, break, no more liquidity, and then just a little rally, and hopefully that rally will continue. The one thing that I need to, in my mind, like mentally and psychologically, I think needs to happen is there's this idea of a golden cross hasn't happened yet, and I think that's gonna play a little bit of a role in how people perceive this token. So I was hoping that this 50, this yellow line, which is a 50, I was hoping that it would continue and we'd get across by now, and it hasn't happened yet. This is on the daily time frame, and actually when you look at all of the exchanges, it's all saying the same thing. So obviously this idea is correct because they're all saying the same thing. What is it going to take? What is it going to take to golden cross? I mean, the great thing is the price is now above both the 50 moving average and the 200 moving average. This is great. This is bullish. You know, it's not underneath it, it's above it. and it's been above it for a while, and that's really bullish. That's what you want to see. I mean, for this to move up, it has to get past these bigger time frame moving averages, and it has. Look at it. It clearly has. It's not only has it come above it, look on MEX, it came down, and it, look at it, it was brought back up. Bam. What does the other one say? This one never had the same test. Just on MEX. Someone sold into those moving averages, and it was just brought back up. So see, on MEX you got something different going on as well. You have this kind of, look at these lines. Comes down, it's almost like we're above it now. It's almost like some kind of triangle, which is at the moment breaking out. That's why you had this injection of volume. See how different exchanges can give you different biases, but ultimately they're all saying the same thing. It's when they all say the same thing at exactly the same time that you suddenly get these kind of big impulsive moves, when all of the stars align. What's it going to take for us to golden cross? That was the question. So let me count 50 periods back. Oh, we're going to do it quite soon, I think. See? This is 50 periods back. We're above the 200, which was very important. We want the price to be above the 200. We're going to now, tomorrow, we're going to lose this candle here. And then this one, and then this one, and then this one. These are all lower candles. So as long as we're losing candles, so the reason why this has dipped a little bit is because we lost candles where the price had closed above the current price. You see these 1, 2, 3, and the last 4 days, we've lost candles going 50 periods back, 50 days back. We've lost candles where the price closed above our current price, and that's caused this moving average 50 to dip a little bit. But now we are basically at exactly the same price going back 50 periods. See that? It closed a slither above us, a slither. Tomorrow it's going to be, if the price stays where we are, it's going to be at roughly the same price, and then it's going to be lower there. So that will be in 2 days. This is 2 days time. This is 3 days time. 4 days time, 5 days time, 6 days time, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, it's all lower. See that? So as long as the price stays above the 200 average, and anywhere higher, really, it doesn't really matter how high, then we're definitely going to be seeing a golden cross in the next week. I can predict that, because this is just going to go like that. You see a golden cross. That's it. We're gonna. I mean, that's what I reckon, a golden cross in the next week on TRVL. So, what does that mean? I have no idea. Got to trade golden crosses. It just means the momentum has changed. I think, you know, like that's what I get from that. The momentum's changed. It's no longer a downward momentum now that it's crossed up. The last time we had a cross up, it was, look where the price was. This whole bullish impulse, it was actually a relief rally. It was a corrective impulse. It wasn't actually a bullish impulse. This is a corrective. This was like a relief rally. It allowed everyone who'd got themselves caught into bad positions to exit. That's what it was. in the context of Bitcoin, it could have been a wave one of a 5-wave rally, but basically the reason why it was sold into was because here people were just exiting and they weren't looking to buy back in. They were just looking to exit this, and they were looking for other things because it had dipped so much, and we weren't able to hold support on the way down. That would have corrected the bias, because it's the same thing. Like when you're here, that's your lowest low. That's effectively the higher high. You still need to make a higher high. You know, that could have been your lower. That was quite a V shape. That could have been your higher low, and then you still need to go up there to make a higher high to change bullish the structure of the market structure from bearish to bullish. Didn't happen, but the golden cross happened here. See that? Here. Oops. Little wiggly way. Whatever. I can't draw it straight. Yeah. If I use one of these, it'll be better. So basically the price was, not only was the price in the highs, it had just formed a bearish reversal candle. See that daily close, where it closed. It almost closed above the wick, under the wick, but it doesn't look pretty. That whole pattern is very ugly. It was good until that point, but then this should have pushed up and closed higher. We wanted to see this go up now and close there, but it did the opposite, and so this whole structure became bearish instead of like some kind of bullish structure. Anyway, the golden cross happened there. Look how far away the price is from the golden cross. So this is very different. So I think in the next week, as long as the price stays above, like look, we've got high volume into the highs, taking liquidity. I mean, you want this to close. I think you want this to continue closing higher, you know. You want this to continue closing higher. As long as the price continues going up, I don't really want to see us lose this lower triangle trend line that I've drawn here. I think I want to see that continually brought up. Keep on testing these highs. And I think we'll get a golden cross. Get a golden cross in the next week. Oh, look at that. Sold into that. What's the price now? 31350. Is that reflecting? That's on. It's on Bybit. Okay, that's fine. These are. It's the thing. Bybit doesn't have enough volume to give you an accurate picture of what's going on. I wish it would though, because I prefer Bybit to all of them. This is quite interesting as well. I have a look at wrapped TRVL against wrapped Ether. This is on Uniswap, and look at this. Look at the last 4 weeks. Look at that volume. Look at that volume. Look at that. And we've passed the critical line now. We've passed a really important line, which is these lows here. We're about to close above this line now. Yeah. This first drop, bang, bang. This kind of was a bit of a deviation. Now we're back above it. Now we're about to close above it. It's quite nice. We'll do a range pull. Look at this. Look at most of the volume of this whole 2 year, almost 2 year. Yeah, that's 2 years. This whole 2 year range, Most of the volume has come just underneath us versus Ethereum, I mean. And we're about to close a second weekly candle above the point of control. That's bullish. That's bullish. You're basically closing on support, and also this line here, these wick lows, that's bullish. We still have like a downward trend on these moving averages, but that's fine. Like, you have to reverse them somehow. We don't have a golden cross here, so there is a bit of divergence between TRVL against Ether and TRVL against the USD. Don't know what that means. Look at the BTC chart, see what that's saying. Oh, I have a lot of lines here, let me clean it up. Get rid of them, I don't know what they were, they probably were all lines. So like this, for me that was quite an important level which we haven't been able to close under. See this first low that we've passed clearly, and there it is again. Not as bullish as Ether. Looks a bit like a triangle right now, forming some kind of triangle. We're in the highs. Could it be a flat top? Could it be the same as the USDT one? And that's just like a deviation, like someone's bought too much in one go. Could it be telling us the same story? Could we be getting a flat top triangle on TRVL versus BTC and TRVL versus USD? It's possible. Look, we don't have a golden cross here either, so there is still a little bit of divergence. The volume isn't as high as it could be or should be. Don't know what that means. You obviously want more volume, but before I had the point of control there, the value area low and the value area high there. Let me just draw it again. That's weird, huh? So for some reason the volume that's come into these lows has moved the value area higher. But why is the point of control moved? That makes no sense. Can't have moved. Maybe that is a different point of control. Maybe it's a different range. Maybe I took it from the range from here. But then the value area is down there. No idea why I did that. Well, let's move them anyways, because this isn't correct. That's fine. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if if this breaks out to just at the very least get back to the value area low. That will be a real crucial moment, I think, because then we have to see how bullish the impulse is, because then if you get more of create a bit of the thing, something you have to look at this and go, okay, what's going on? Well, look, you see this bullish impulsive move up here from these lows up, a line of greens with lots of gaps. There's no support built up on the way up, no support at all. Usually when you get this kind of move, it's also fast to come down because you haven't created support on the way up. There's no support on the way down. Okay. And what do I mean by support? I mean red candles. You want green and red candles. You want consolidation. You don't want just volume gaps, because when you create gaps in volume, like we have a big gap here to here, you see how these candles match and they correspond. They just fill the gap really quickly. Yeah, it's not what you want to see. You don't want to see these kind of like gaps form. This structure is nicer, this kind of structure, because you're creating market structure support. So in the future, if and when the price does go up, then if the price comes back down, this whole structure acts as support, a structural support for the price. Because, and the longer and the more volume that's traded in these ranges, the more support there is. It's just how it works. I didn't make it up. It's just how it works. Just have to accept that's how it works. So it is possible. It's very possible that we slip up here very easily too. You know, like there's no reason why. Just because this is the value area low, that the price should stop there. You know, because look, it could go up to there. There's no structure. This is taken out. There was before. You see, there was structure before here, but this move up took out all of the liquidity from this structure. All of the liquidity was taken from the structure. That's why the price dropped, because it took out all of the liquidity, and then there was no structure built up on the way up. When the price was sold off, it just slipped right back. Yeah, but you know, if you were to reverse this, I'll show you. Look at this. This is the reverse, like it's inversed, and sometimes when you inverse it, you get a different view, you know. Now look at the price there. This is inverse. So imagine that this is not inverse. Imagine that this is not inverse. Would you buy here? Where would you buy? If this is not inverse, if this is normal, I've just inversed it. You just do Alt-I and you can inverse it. So here, this is inverse, you see? Now this looks like a V-shaped recovery. See that? This is a V-shaped recovery. No? Usually in V-shaped recoveries, you kind of get flags. Before you get breakouts. Usually. Is this flagging? No, it's not flagging. It's doing what I said. It's creating a flat bottom triangle with lower highs. Would you buy here? No, I don't think you would. Where would you buy? Well, I think anyone who's looking to buy this with this kind of structure, assuming that this wasn't inverse, that this was normal, would either look to buy an SFP of this wick low here. You'd want to buy down here, wouldn't you? And you wouldn't just, and an SFP would be a scalp back up to the value area low for continuation down, because there isn't enough liquidity to, you'd want structure. It's all about creating structure when you, and that there wouldn't be enough structure to hold that, because you could buy that, price could just fall right back down. It'd be a scalp. The next bit of like significant structure that we have, if you look back, is here. See, it's here. And that actually coincides with the point of control. So probably that's where you're looking for the price to form a foundation That's what you wanted to buy. You'd want it to take this out and kind of form something bullish reversal. Like that's what you'd be looking for a buy, something like that, into that level, some kind of reversal, backflip, 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 back test, SR flip, back test. That's kind of what you'd be looking for a buy if this was a normal standard chart, but I've just reversed it. And then there's no reason why this value area doesn't hold. You see, I've overextended it like that, but actually it could just do that. It could just go back and test that, because you're in the range now. Reclaiming a range is a sign of strength. As soon as we are back into this range, so as soon as the price gets back into the value area low of this 2-year time frame TRVL versus BTC chart, as soon as we get acceptance above this level here, the value area low, then that's called a sign of strength. That's bullish. That's mega bullish, because you're back into the value area. We lost the value area, now we're back in the value area, back into the value area. You could buy the back test of the value area, which is what this is. Now, could the point of control, could it just continue up? Yeah, of course it could. Like if it can flip the point of control into support, it could continue up to the value area high. That's normal behavior. Yeah. And there's something else to note. This is really important. As soon as we clear this little range here, it could form like a extended consolidation period here, and that could rhyme. This is obviously going to rhyme with Bitcoin, but as soon as we get up there, look at all this. There's no this all slipped down really fast. So as soon as we in the future get back above the value area high, we're going to go up really fast too. See, because there's no structure. It slipped in the same way that this came down quickly. It's going to go up quickly. It's just how it works. I didn't make this up. This is just how it works. It's the same with every token. This is how it works. Yeah. So this all coincides with my idea of how we recover from these lows and end up with a really higher price tokens. All of these things have to line up and get my higher time frame analysis out with the Wyckoff idea. All of this is going to come together to paint a picture. I don't know about whether we're going to go and make this low here, or whether we're going to go. This is all subjective, you know. When does it begin? Who knows? How far down do we go? Who knows? Does it do this and form that AB this pattern? Why can't I see it? Does it do that and form that pattern? No idea. You get the Elliott waves in. I really have too much stuff. Again, nope. EW, I missed it. Wave one. Higher HCF volume levels. Triangle. Those. Maybe that one's better. Maybe kind of. Maybe hiding that is better. Some kind of. Could that work? Up to $25, my target, my final target. two flats, like two flat corrections, and then back testing this 9 cents, clearing it and back testing it. And you have to remember that just because this triangle looks like it's a straight line, it doesn't get there anyway at once. I mean, timing is important, so you kind of want it to time up there correctly, but it could do this, and then do this, get there like that, see? Or it could do this, get there like that. See, it doesn't have to go up in a straight line like that. You could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Yeah. Or you could just go down here and then some multi-billionaire buys up all the coin and it's up there. Yeah, that's good. That could happen too. Like, it doesn't really have to. It just has to time well. So I like this. I mean, maybe, who knows? We'll see. I mean, I'm long, and I'm actually holding out. I won't be selling anything up till my higher targets, but I mean, if this plays out, and this is the thing, we have an idea of what could happen. It's a could, it's not a will. It may happen, may not. And if it gets up to there at the time that we've kind of mapped this out at the price at the time, then yeah, of course you would start taking profit, because you basically have an idea of what could happen, and it's happened exactly the way you've envisioned it, and then you would take profit, and then with a view of defending 9 cents. That's how I would play it. So if we get up there within a few months and we're finally up there and we're there, I would be taking profit. I would, for sure I would, and I'll be looking to buy back at 9 cents. Now, it doesn't have to get back to 9 cents, because I have this back test, this SFP flip here. It could form support here, you know. It doesn't have to get back down there. So you just have to kind of monitor the price action, see where the trend lines are, look at the candle structure and the way the candles are forming. It's all in context with Bitcoin as well. I mean, this could work well, because you're topping out on Bitcoin here, roughly where wave 2 begins, wave 3 begins. That's what you want to see. You want to see Bitcoin top out, and then you want to see the capital flow, the capital flow into the altcoins, Ethereum and the rest. So this could work too, as long as we can keep this as flat as possible, you know, not crazy selling, not like, I think a lot of people don't know how to sell. Firstly, you should be selling into the pumps, not into the dumps. And secondly, you should be scaling out in small amounts over a longer period of time, and not all at once. You know, like, it'd be better to sell, if you're going to sell, let's say you're going to sell like 50,000 TRVL, it'd be better to sell it over a period of 2 days, 1,000 an hour over 2 days, than to just go sell 50,000 market. You know, that would be better. It'd be much better for everyone, for them, and for yourself as well, because you probably have a large position. You don't want to crash the price. You want the consolidation to be a nice, gentle one. Alright, I think that's it. It's been quite a long stream. I'm gonna cut this TRVL section and put it as like a nice long TRVL analysis,